thanks to Betterhelp for sponsoring this video. We believe that having access to mental health options is a really important lifeline any time of year, especially in the dominating seasons when we're shown what we should be, but we're not. Betterhelp offers a platform to connect to a therapist about whatever's on your mind, because we all need to be reminded that our journey is what we should focus on, rather than the picture-perfect BS we see in advertising and media. Betterhelp offers group support, flexible therapist options that allow you to find a new person whenever you'd like, and various ways to reach out for help, like texting or video. Talk to someone today about whatever is on your mind, whether this is your first step toward mental health or your 100th. BetterHelp can help, and you can use our code to get a discount. Try BetterHelp today by going to betterhelp.com/CinemaSins and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/CinemaSins. Calling yourself 21st Century Film Corporation in 1990. Will there be a 21st century? You don't know! Also, 21st Century Film Corporation got shut down in 1996, so you played yourself. Thinking that the window is the most efficient and effective point of first entry. At the very least, do the door at the same time. It's like you're prioritizing a dramatic moment over common sense. Amateurs. Why is it total darkness when we cut to the murderous villain origin story gunfire? Did they blow out the candles before the execution?
Auf eine Art und Weise verändert durch eine Erfindung unserer Wissenschaft.
You can tell because he looks like an evil meat puppet now. I didn't realize the obviously terrible people I put my faith in were going to do terrible things cliché. You told us less than 5 minutes ago that it was 1936. When you said it was 7 years later, you didn't need to also say it was 1943. Pick one. I know how to add by 7. I've been watching American football my whole life. This minute-long establishing shot of the Steve Rogers home that doesn't have the human decency to use a Steadicam, be a one-shot, or actually tell us anything interesting or new about the situation. Discount J.D. Salinger. Both Melinda Dillon and Darren McGavin are in this movie, but do not play a married couple who fight over a leg lamp and whether or not their son should wear a bunny costume.
Can you be as strong and brave as he was?
I'm sure gonna try.
Finally, a Hollywood movie that hits on the way fathers impact their sons. Can't believe it took this long.
Sorry, everybody. We can't do this without Bernie.
Attempting to make me hate Steve Rogers this early in the movie by having him make all these fine people stand waiting to take a picture in this pose so he can run around the entire city to see if he can find Bernie. This lame-ass sunset. These two surfers waiting for a wave on the calmest ocean in the history of oceans.
What is it?
I'm sorry. It's just that I love you.
Apparently not enough to make sure you were there when they wanted to take the family picture.
I'll wait for you. Forever and ever and ever.
She will not. And based on this and the whole family picture thing, I'm not sure Bernie is very dependable. Captain Emphas America. Having a secret entrance but forgetting to put a door on the room to keep people from seeing how you access it.
So this process can take a frail boy with polio, give him the strength and speed of a world-class athlete.
This is the third time someone has expositioned to us what's happening here, and I'm beginning to suspect the movie doesn't think we're paying attention.
He may not be Superman, but he'll be a living symbol of what this country stands for.
I only mentioned Superman because he's just like Superman, but belongs to Marvel, so probably better than Superman, I guess.
Begin the infusion.
They will now begin electrocuting the out of Steve Rogers. What happened to just injecting someone with a serum? I mean, based on the previous year's box office numbers for Wes Craven's Shocker, it's pretty obvious audiences weren't down with the Horace Pinkering. Also, this transformation lasts almost a full minute and includes no less than 31 explosions of sparks from the equipment. Does the U.S. government not know a good electrician that understands voltage and capacity? This is irresponsible.
Remarkable work, Dr. Naselli. Congratulations.
Prematurely hiling your Hitler. See? This poor undercover Nazi barely gets pushed into a computer array and fries to death. Remember, America, shortcuts cut lives short.
He's our only hope, Doctor.
If the situation changes, I'll certainly let you know.
Colonel? Colonel Lewis? Where did you say that launch site was?
He stood up and found his father's locket and hung it around his thumb with his dad's picture showing and left an IV hanging from his bloody arm. What a tryhard.
You all right with that there shield?
Here's a little more time to practice.
Then maybe you should have said that instead of where did you say that launch site was?
Besides, you got that crazy fireproof uniform Dr. Vaselli made up for you.
I know you already know about it, but I figure I should mention it in case that information comes in handy for anyone else snooping on us.
She didn't know much about camouflage.
Or maybe it's like how the male birds are the bright and colorful ones so that predators will focus on them instead of the weaker birds in the nest. You ever think of that, Rogers? Did ya? Stop trying to nitpick everything. It's ugly.
One Let America down, sir.
We'll leave the letting America down part to that Fantastic Four movie that will never get released outside bootleg VHS copies at comic book conventions. I'm not sure how I know what VHS is or comic book conventions. I guess that info was electrocuted into me along with all the newfound strength and When are the bad guys going to learn to quit storing large amounts of exposed fuel in open trucks outside their bases? Really a bit of an own goal if you ask me. I hope you get your fill of Red Skull over the next few minutes, because for the rest of the movie he will be reinvented as Flesh Tone Skull for some unknown reason.
It seems the Americans have made a poor choice for their champion.
Thing the rest of the world says in unison every 4 years somehow makes it into the script.
Where is the pen of my aunt?
Is a question asked in this movie.
Where is the big bomb going?
This movie is playing all the villain trope hits. We're already checking monologuing your plan when you don't need to off the list, and these guys met less than 3 minutes ago. Wait, Red Skull was on the launch platform for this conversation? If you're gonna monologue, at least do it from a safe distance. Does no one in this movie consult with OSHA? These two parents sleeping in what appears to be a very well-lit room, letting their young child sneak out at night in Washington, D.C. to take clandestine photos of the White House. But mostly it's the sleeping with that much light in the room thing. Captain America will literally direct this rocket away from the child and White House by heel kicking it a few times. Also, superheroes not being able to fully superhero until they have a child gazing in awe at them. What if someone needs saving and there aren't any kids around that need to be inspired? What then? Much like all the viewers that have made it this far into the movie, the on-screen logos have decided to give up as well. In case you confused it with Springfield, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Vermont, Virginia, West Virginia, Wisconsin, or U.S. Virgin Islands. That's way too many f***ing Springfields.
Pictures don't lie, neither do best friends.
Things I used to naively believe before the 2020s. Movie now throws us into a Tom Kimball newspaper passage of time montage and wants us to believe that him going to Vietnam was above the fold front page news in the Springfield Examiner. Also, that article reads that 18-year-old Kimball was shipped out today for Vietnam, Krisha to spend every Tuesday afternoon and the first and third weekend of each month with their father. In fact, every article on this front page and every front page in this montage is actually about Steve Garvey's ex-wife being sent to jail for contempt of court in 1989, and I think a Padres fan might have been working out some personal shit here.
Thomas Kimball was elected President of the United States by the narrowest margin in history.
In 1876, Hayes beat Tilden by a single electoral vote, you liar.
It's bad medicine, and nobody said the medicine was going to taste any good.
Bringing Bon Jovi into this mess.
I want to live on a clean planet just as much as the next fella. You just simply can't expect us to cut back on our solid waste 90% in 6 months.
The fact that 34 years later, this discussion doesn't feel dated at all.
General, have a real good day.
See, you can tell he's a cool president because he likes sports and wears blue jeans to work.
It took me 2 years to find Sirhan, 3 to find Oswald. The King job alone cost us over $22 million.
Pinning all the big assassinations on your villain so we for sure know the scope of their evil control and power, because tell don't show is just so much easier.
Will we control him using a brain implant I have invented? Then he will do whatever we wish.
The sudden cuts in this movie are enough to give you whiplash, or make you wonder if someone doing the Blu-ray transfer got so bored that they would occasionally just hit the 30-second skip button.
Okay, guys. The company helicopter can't be here for another 8 hours because of bad weather.
And we're speaking English now, even though we were speaking in a foreign language a second ago, because this was shot out of order and we are short one consistency officer. I'm honestly not even sure that's a thing, but it makes me sound more important when I say things like that.
I know it's kind of creepy being in here with this thing, but that's the way the company wants it, so what are you gonna do about it?
Walk to a different room? Not explaining what happened to the bomb he was attached to when he went into the snow. How is he still in the ice but no longer part of the bomb? Just a note that all these articles are still about Steve Garvey's ex-wife, but this time I'm sitting it for strangely interjecting paragraphs about San Diego's soccer team in there as well. They are called the Sockers, and honestly that mascot name might be the most sinful thing about all of this newspaper nonsense.
I'm a little busy here. I gotta go up in the attic, get my long johns.
Storing your long johns in the attic. Also, if I hear any banjo plucking, or someone asking Ned Beatty to squeal like a piggy when in said long johns, I'm out.
Incredible.
That the old photo you took of a man strapped to a rocket going by you at an immense speed that basically looked like a blurry shadow would be immediately recognizable as the same dude in the picture the guy in Alaska took? Yes! Incredible indeed.
It's him.
Who, Baba?
Captain America.
Roll credits. This movie is 33% location logos.
Here I am.
Home's gotta be south of here.
Saying things that are true, but so broadly true that they are of no practical use whatsoever. This shaky cam motorcycle chase is in the forest for all the some time. The last time Cap threw his shield, it sliced through a giant piece of wood, but this time it just knocks her off the motorcycle. I'm just saying, maybe Steve doesn't get enough credit for his touch.
Get in! Come on!
Beatty Ned Machina.
Who was that shooting at you?
Nazis.
That's quite an assumption, Cap. And you know what they say when you assume about Nazis. It makes an ass out of you and me, but Nazi. Or something. Sam's vehicle has a Hershey's bar on the dash, not only so we will know he's the portly sidekick who likes to snack, but also so we know he wants to spend hours cleaning up a mess on the next sunny day.
Would you please pull over the car? I am going to get sick.
Look, I'm not saying Matt Salinger is a terrible actor, but I am saying he delivers his lines in this movie like he's an athlete who got tapped to host SNL. Good thing Sam brought his great big book of everything on this trip so Cap could exposition himself with a nice infobation session. This eternal travel montage is backed by a song called Memories of You that I think you can only find in this movie. For good reason. It's like someone wanted to do some knockoff Bob Seger with lyrics that are so basic they couldn't even be parody. I am legitimately angry that the YouTube gods won't let me play this travesty for you. Wearing a trench coat on the beach. This lame-ass old age makeup.
This can't be real.
It is.
Quite a flex to put the conversation everyone has right before they watch your movie into the movie itself. But you do you, movie.
I was 38. I wanted to have children before it was too late.
Thinking you need to get married to have kids. Does your husband know he's just a glorified sperm donor?
Oh, Bernie. Guess it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, not with that attitude, it isn't. Oh, look, it's the file full of information that the government wanted to keep so secret that they didn't tell a single soul, except for anyone who had the clearance to see it, or apparently a reporter who just happened to obtain it. Holding a pencil in your mouth when there's apparently already one in your hand as well.
Jack!
No, please, not Jack.
He said was true.
And I've had time to verify that in the 60 seconds since we sat down to watch old history videos or some Trying to quickly zip the body bag before the grieving adult child gets a chance to see her mom. As if you were able to get all the forensics done that quickly anyway, you dicks.
We interrupt for this special report.
Wheel of Fortune news position. Home cooking and pies? Are you saying the home cooking doesn't extend to the pies? Like you store-bought some pies to go with the other home cooking? I hate your restaurant name, and I'm never eating there out of principle.
No, wait, you can't go in there!
I love how in movies, women are immediately waiting to run screaming out of the restroom the second a man walks in. Some even holding up their pants. Like a dude walked in, they were peeing in the stall and reacted immediately by jumping up, opening the stall, and sprinting out.
Oh my God, it's all true.
Sharon has met a man who has come back from being frozen for the past few decades and is shocked by anything else being true. This lame-ass hiding spot. As Cap continues to beat up these henchies in extremely pedestrian ways, I think it bears mentioning that since the beginning of the movie over an hour ago, we have seen him throw his shield a couple times and maybe punch through a wall. And that's it. Movie doesn't know how to put the super in superhero correctly. Also, based on how poorly lit this action sequence is, I just realized Captain America walked so Alien vs. Predator Requiem could run.
Unfortunately, those chemicals have to act on the brain for 24 hours.
Pointless and arbitrary ticking clocks as a substitute for doing the work of creating true tension.
I get to be president of the United States. Isn't that every boy's dream?
It is not. President of the United States wouldn't even make the top 5 in 1990. Goes astronaut, firefighter, cowboy, the $6 Million Man, and Wonder Woman's boyfriend.
I will see you in, let's say 24 hours, Mr. President.
Apologies, everyone. This movie seems to have cast the wrong hero to save the president. As everyone knows, all presidential rescues that have to happen within a 24-hour time limit are to be designated to one Mr. Jack Bauer.
Here's Rome, and here's Porto Venere.
See, kids, before automated GPS, we had to read a physical map while driving. Why wouldn't we take a look at the map before we started driving and memorize where we needed to go? Because that's just silly. The number one rule when operating a moving vehicle in 1990 was always to choose the most dangerous option.
Now, if we step on it, we can totally be there by lunchtime.
Assuming your fellow passenger has the same idea for what time lunchtime is as you do.
Are you okay?
Cap is now 2 for 2 with this carsick ruse working, and the fact that it depends on people being interested in chasing you down while you vomit is enough for me to say those odds are unlikely. Movie, for no apparent reason, chooses to shoot Sharon walking up behind Steve as if he's about to be killed by Michael Myers. The crystal clear audio clarity of this magnetic tape that was in an explosion and then not cared for 50 years.
I'm sorry I tried to ditch you. What do you want me to do, eat dirt?
No time in the history of anything has anyone suggested a punishment of eating dirt. Can't figure out if the movie wants me to think that Steve is from another era or another planet.
Steve!
Get down!
Not realizing they're baddies until they pull out their guns, and also give you a few seconds to see their reflection and grab a table before shooting at you. How does using a shield make any more sense here than just stepping out of the motorcycle's path? But at the same time, I would like to send the movie for this only being the third time Cap has thrown his shield, and we are over an hour into the movie. I'm a complicated sinner.
Hang on, Sharon. This fight's got no brakes.
Because of course it doesn't. Are Valentina and her actually giving up and walking away? Either Steve and Sharon are going to surface in a few seconds or they've drowned. These might be the most impatient characters I've ever seen in a movie. And I've seen the ending of The Mist. This single-lane road on a mountain with no guardrails. Come on, Italy, do better. Also, I'm sorry, I honestly can't take this fucking car seriously anymore. It's so goddamn ridiculously small.
Sharon, when we get to the Red Skull's castle, I want you to stay out of sight and let me do my job.
So Steve thinks leaving Sharon by herself at Red Skull's castle is better than either leaving her behind or making sure she sticks close by him? Would have made more sense if you'd tried to pull the car sick trick again.
They're still looking for us.
You should jump in some water again. That apparently confuses the out of the bad guys in this movie. This crew went from trying to shoot her to gang posing on the road like they're waiting for Annie Leibovitz to show up and shoot them. This convenient hole in the floor and its convenient relationship to these two prisoners' sightlines.
A little obvious.
It's always worked before.
Why not?
Every studio conversation about how to end every superhero movie ever.
Sharon.
How the fuck does the president know who Sharon is?
Go down and find him.
Considering you couldn't sense he was literally right behind you 2 seconds ago, I don't have much faith in your finding abilities, sir. Running downstairs, running on a bridge, more running on a bridge. Excitement? I guess we can add rock climbing to the list of Cap's superpowers. Cool. Also, it's been so long since we've seen Captain America decked out all Captain America, I honestly forgot he was Captain America. Captain America conveniently climbing up the side of the castle that is conveniently the side where the president chooses to take a swan dive is convenient.
You mean you were the little boy? I've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Kiss, kiss, kiss. Wait, have I misunderstood where this rom-com's going? The movie cuts this in a way where I'm just expected to assume Captain America was able to get his shield back that quickly after causing the ceiling to cave in, but I'm me, so...
Eurobase 3, this is the president. Give me NATO command. Yeah, I know, I wouldn't believe it either.
Anyhow, this henchman randomly carried a satellite phone into a gunfight, so I picked it up to call. Crazy, right? So yeah, totally the president here. Put me through. Movie gives us very little of Captain America fighting, but thinks we still want to take the time to see some President Kimball fighting, and the movie is wrong. Oh, I get it now. Marvel's confusing quick-cut action style was an homage to this movie. It all makes complete sense now, and is still the same amount of sinful.
Mr. President! Thanks.
This lame-ass thumbs up. Even though in previous scenes, the bullets that ricochet off the shield have struck the shooter, that does not happen here with Red Skull, because I guess the shield read the script.
That'd be too fast. I'd rather see you get it slow.
Kiss, kiss, kiss. Still no? I may have totally misunderstood this movie.
That was a gun.
Movie feels the need to explain to us that was a gun.
This is a detonator.
Movie feels the need to explain to us this is a detonator.
70 million lives out like brief candles, and Captain America can do nothing about it.
Red Skull is sure acting like getting some kind of revenge on Captain America was part of his plan all along, despite defeating Captain America the only other time he faced him, and therefore not needing to take revenge. And on top of all that, Red Skull had no clue Captain America was even still around when he started up his I'm going to become the president plan.
The scientist!
I'd give every single sin back if that radio started playing In Your Eyes right now.
We are both tragedies.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I write sins, not tragedies. And haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? It's amazing to me that Ronnie Cox has now been in the 2 films with arguably the worst falling to death scenes ever.
Heads up.
Turns out Cap's real superpower was cheesy one-liners, followed by fourth wall breaking smirks, which I technically think might make him a super villain now. What exactly is the point of the mask if he's just going to rip it off as soon as he's done fighting?
In Rome today, 116 nations agreed to an environmental protection treaty.
Ending your movie with 21 seconds of narrated news position during the fucking credits.
I should have broke your thumb.
Bernie, what is it?
Remember that time I stayed up with you all night in your tent? Because you wanted to play North Pole?
You are a perfect symbol of America, my brother. Weak and self-piteous. You have even failed to teach me English, but...
Here we go!
Just gotta figure out who it was.
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
Police strike could really work for us. By the end of the week, we can have Ed 209s in place all over the city and expect immediate public support.
You, my friends, are statesmen generals, captains of industry.
I'm just a caveman. Your world frightens and confuses me.
Where is he? Now, if we step on him, we can totally be there by lunchtime.
Totally charted.
You remain a clownish symbol that no one cares about.
I care.
I don't care!
Stop calling me your brother!
I'm gonna rub my balls on your mom's face!
Hey, you know something? You're a real pain in the neck.
What?